Okay, so welcome back to the Outdoorpreneurs podcast. I have no idea what episode this is. I think it's number 3. It's also a small YouTuber tag. So there's this thing that people do. They tag each other on Twitter and stuff. And if you get tagged, you make a video on the subject. You go tag other people, like I might tag 5, 10 people, whatever it is. And I heard about this from a lady called Becky, or It's Becky. You can check out her channel. She has an adorable channel. It's a great way to address this whole 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 view hours, whatever the watch. Number 1, describe your content in 1 sentence. I document fishing adventures with realism and elegant simplicity. I used to say it was like Hot Rod TV meets Bill Dance Outdoors, but that just sounds so stupid. What equipment do I use to film? I am shooting on a Nikon or Nikon, however you say it, wherever you are in the world. Nikon D3300. It's an entry-level DSLR camera. I'm using just a kit lens, an 18 to 55 millimeter lens. This microphone here is a giant squid microphone, lavalier microphone that's actually designed for SLR cameras. I also have a shotgun microphone mounted on the camera that I'm not using at the moment, but I use it when I go fishing. I have a whole podcast gear set up in the house. My Tascam DR40 to record audio, my Sennheiser E835 for my main microphone, handheld microphone, and a Behringer, one of the small USB Behringer USB. Oh, there go the geese. The geese are coming back. You know it's spring. Oh, they're so beautiful. I wish I had some telephoto lens. There's a couple of them. They fly in perfect formation. Oh wow, 5. Oh, they're so fast. Wow, there's a whole flock of them. Perfect fingertip formation, you know. I mean, the Blue Angels couldn't do it better, or, you know. What do I use to edit? Well, I build my own computers, and I run the Linux operating system, a Linux distribution called Linux Mint, and I've been using that for a couple of years now. And I edit on a program called Flowblade. And then my audio is obviously on Audacity, and my thumbnails and graphics is on GIMP. It's just all just open source stuff. Which YouTuber do you resemble the most in terms of content? I hope I don't resemble anybody. I'm such an individualistic person. I don't want to really be like anybody. You know. So let's rephrase the question. Who do I admire? Well, who are my favorite YouTubers and who I admire? I admire like every National Geographic documentary ever. They're photographers, they're videographers, and that's where I draw a lot of my inspiration from, is from documentaries, and I'm wanting to do more documentary types of things. As far as specific YouTubers, there's a guy called Andrew St. Pierre White at 4X Overland, going on these long, essentially safaris, as we would call it here in the States, but I think they call it overlanding. The thing is, again, he produces National Geographic, BBC quality documentaries on his adventures. Same sort of thing. There's another guy I like that I watch for entertainment purposes while I'm sitting in the studio making products for customers, called Hickok 45, and it's a firearms channel. He's like an old school teacher, so I would tell you something. An old school teacher who has a firearms channel, given all that's going on in the news in the United States right now. He and his son just have a shooting range in their yard or whatever, and they just shoot their videos. I mean, my videos are not like that, but he's built up something like 3 million subscribers, essentially what you would say are firearms reviews, essentially. He's just shooting these firearms, and he has a deal with a company that sends him firearms, and he just shoots, and reviews them. It's a pretty good deal. Product reviews are a great way to get a lot of traffic and subscribers, because people are already looking for those things, and those things typically have a good bit of traffic. To this day on my channel, the videos that continue to draw the greatest traffic have been the SPS North America Swamp Runner mud motor kit that I put together back in 2014. It's still my #1 video, and the video on the Humminbird SIGPS. Those 2 videos are they're kind of the workhorse videos for my channel. And then people kind of come in and get to my regular other part of the content. Who other channel? There's another guy called the Daily Defense Vago Maradian. He's like a newscaster. I think he used to work like in the Pentagon. He used to do Air Force News or something like that in the Pentagon back when I was like in high school and stuff. And it's a news channel. Basically what it is, it's a news in journalism channel, but all he does is cover defense technology. And that's because he goes to like the Paris Air Show and the Dubai Air Show, and then he goes to all these symposiums, these military symposiums. He's actually interviewing, remember the problems that the United States had with the Navy, the crash. Well, he's actually interviewing the Secretary of the Navy and other retired captains and people who are, you know, the USS America, our newest Marine amphibious assault carrier, just came back. He's there, you know, interviewing, you know, crewmen and the captain there and all that, and because it's a new ship and a new mission for our Marines. And another is a lady, I think her name is Laura Hutton. She has the Aero News Network, I believe. Again, it's a news channel, and it's just like watching the nightly news, except it's all airplane stuff. Another YouTuber, I like this guy, is this guy who does paragliding. I don't know his name though. I can't think of his name. I just know what he looks like. He's kind of got red hair and he kind of has this surfer dude thing going. There's another guy called Matt something or other who has another aviation channel where he's flying his Bonanza around different places and going across, I mean, he's crossing the North Atlantic in like a Cessna or something, and he's like, you know, going into Greenland and all these, you know. And so I'll try to put links to all those guys in the description, so check the description always, you know. Okay, which big YouTuber would you love to collab with and why? I'm the Andrew St. Pierre White. Yeah, does my channel meet the monetization guideline? Yeah, it does. And so what I've done is I want to capture those fishing adventures with elegant, realistic simplicity. That is what has gotten me the 1,000 subscribers and the watch time. It wasn't any sort of trick with monetizations and all this sort of thing, because I had started producing videos. I've been producing videos for 2 or 3 years before I applied for monetization. I didn't care about monetization because I was already monetizing with the products I was selling on eBay. You know, the floats I was selling. I make fishing tackle. I make and sell fishing tackle. That's you know, I started monetizing outside of YouTube before I started monetizing inside YouTube. And you monetize there, and then you're just using YouTube as a way to just sort of demonstrate your products at work. And it's way easier to me. And if you're doing that, people are buying your stuff. When you finally do monetize, it's just like instant money is coming in. You're like, whoa, you know, that's kind of neat. So are the YouTube guidelines fair? Yeah, I think, well, yeah, it's here's what my main concern with that is. Although I think they're fair, I think it's got people concentrating on the wrong things. People are concentrating on views and subscribers and watch time hours instead of concentrating on content. Instead of saying, hey, can we get to that National Geographic level of producing content? Maybe we can, maybe we can't. But instead of that being sort of the aspiration to aspire to, it's just, oh, I want to get more subscribers. Oh, I want to get more subs. Oh, I got to get more watch time hours. And so you're essentially just throwing out your artistic vision for the sake of just some numbers, which is not the whole point of YouTube. The point of YouTube is to try to have the best content in prominent position for people to find and watch. There's a certain aspect of that, the sort of a business aspect of it that's there, but that can't be the primary thing as opposed to producing content. How do I classify a YouTuber? Basically anybody that has a smaller order of magnitude than either I do or the person I'm looking up to. It's always the order of magnitude. So the guy who has 10 subscribers thinks he's a small YouTuber because he's always looking at the guy who has 100 subscribers. The guy who has 100 subscribers always thinks he's small compared to the guy who has 1,000 subscribers. The guy who has 1,000 subscribers thinks he's small compared to the guy who has 10,000 and 100,000 and a million and 10 million. You just keep, it's always the next order of magnitude that seems like the really big YouTuber. If I had more money, equipment, support, what content would I make? I would just do a lot of fishing travel channels, fishing travel, fishing adventures, fishing, you know, the whole, you know, I'd get me a probably get me a full frame camera, probably get me a whole set of prime lenses, get a 24mm prime, 50mm prime, 135mm prime. That way you got wide angle, standard view, and then long range telephoto. We could do some landscape, we could do wildlife, we could do, you know, again, out there on that river, I see so much beauty. I'd always do product videos because that's always a good draw for traffic, and it's part of the story as well, because hey, this is the kind of boat I have, or this is the kind of motor I use, or this is the kind of lures I make while I'm out on the adventure. The realism is that we do have gear to maintain, and that's part of the story. Okay, do I watch, support other small YouTubers? Yeah, I mean, I like one of the ladies named Jessica Mills. I think she's actually from down the road here in my own home state. She's a hiker. She does she's hiked the Appalachian Trail. She's on the Pacific Crest Trail. I think she's gearing up to do the Continental Divide here, and those are the three main trails to hike. You know, hiking. Just like I'm talking about overlanding and four-wheel driving and adventures, she goes on these hiking adventures essentially. But, you know, yeah, I support her, and, you know, and again, she's at sort of order of magnitude level higher than me. YouTuber, it's Becky, the lady who inspired me to do this video as well. Yeah, hey, you know, just get on the chat when she's doing a super chat and donate a couple of dollars or something. You know, I can't support everybody, just like everybody can't support me, but the ones I care about, I try to support as I can. List 3 hobbies outside of YouTube. I like airplanes. I really like airplanes. Okay, so I guess there's military airplanes, there's civilian airplanes, then I like kites, I like paper airplanes. So there's all that, right? I used to do bicycle. I used to love bicycles a lot. Thought about getting back into cycling and long distance cycling, things like that. Bicycle camping, as it were. I want to do overlanding, get a 4x4 truck and do some rig it for camping so I can do fishing, camping. When do I upload? Whenever. I just upload. My goal is to upload 3 to 5 videos per week, each and every week. And when I upload them whenever I can. I'm not a structure-oriented person. I've tried to do the thing where I have, okay, how-to Tuesdays and podcast Wednesdays and product and project Thursdays and philosophy Fridays and super fishing Saturdays. I just can't. That's just too much structure. I'm not a structure-oriented person. I gotta shoot from the hip. Where do I want my channel to be in a year's time? If you look at the math, I'm growing at an ever-increasing rate. So I'm growing, but the rate of growth is also increasing. And I've calculated that in over time. And if I have the math right, by 2020, I should have something like 48,000 subscribers or something. Will that happen? You know, I doubt if it happens like that. That would be an ideal sort of situation. If that math is correct, I should have something like 5,000 or 6,000 subscribers by the end of 2018. If that's not, then we just look at and see what the difference was. If I take the amount of growth I've had right now and look a year ago, I had twice as much, there's twice as much growth, there's twice as many subscribers, twice as many views, twice as many hour views, there's twice as much everything. So that math that trajectory seems to be right, but you never really know. Sometimes you hit a plateau, sometimes it just goes through the roof, sometimes it kind of declines a little bit and then goes up. You know, it's generally always going up, and the rate of growth is always going up. Tell us my social medias. Well, here on YouTube, obviously, I'm on Twitter under Black Warrior Lures. I'm on LinkedIn under Black Warrior Lures. I frequent several forums that I do because I still consider those to be sort of social media, but they're an older generation seems to hang out there like myself, and I think, you know, so LinkedIn, Twitter. I'm on Pinterest as well under Black Warrior Lures, right? I'm on Amazon. I think Amazon is a social media place because that's where I sell some of my products. So type in Amazon, Black Warrior Lures on Amazon. That's where you can buy some of my products. Also on eBay, because people can talk with each other about your products through leaving comments, right? So it's the same principle. It's just a sales platform as opposed to pure social media. So of course, my own website, blackwarriorlures.com. Does pineapple belong on pizza? And this is a very serious question. Remember, I worked in a restaurant for 10 years. It depends on the combination. Ham and pineapple go together. It's a classic sort of Hawaiian Pacific Island combination that works very well. Pineapples and bacon, not so much. Pineapples and pepperoni, no, not so much. Pineapples and onions, it's the combination, and I think it works well. There you have it. See ya.